audio over when we first start.
If you could just give us a
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get started here in just a few minutes.
I'm on something here. I'm not sure if that's what I'm on.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's on. It's ticking. It's on.
Do you have audio? Are you able to hear anything when Jeremy's talking?
Say something, Jeremy. Let me see.
Thank you, everybody, for jumping on currently. I think so. I got it on mute for this for the.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Everybody for
Yeah,
So it is working.
and I'm glad I talk clean, y'all. So we'll be getting started here in just a few minutes. We have an amazing special guest today. And I'm glad I talk clean, y'all. So
It's just a delay. It's a stream delay. Yeah.
it should be good enough, but it's not anything to keep that.
Right.
Okay, so my microphone is hot. That means I'm live, right?
We can mute you if you want.
No. For what? I ain't even going. Let me. All right. I'll come to the stage.
Do you think I should zoom in a little bit more?
Good afternoon, and welcome to like the 30th edition of Motivation Monday. I am excited. I'm excited that we never gave up. I'm excited that we never quit. I'm excited that we kept pushing. The more we worked, the better it got, the better stories we got, the better interactions, the better energy. And I'm excited to have everybody here tonight. It's going to be an amazing night, some amazing info, some amazing stories that I hope we can share that people can resonate with tonight. But really quick, before we even go any further, just for everybody that always watch this, just always remember, you got to have a vision and you got to work that vision forward. Did it start raining out of the blue? I don't know. That's crazy. Anyway, we're still on Earth, y'all. I'm not in space or anything, so I'm experiencing the same weather as y'all are. But I just want to touch really quick, and I hope everybody's glad it's Monday, on our 22nd vision board. Every week, y'all know I got to do it. It's important that we not only have a vision, but that we can visualize it and then immediately put action into that vision of what we saw in our head. All right, so just really quick, y'all know how we roll. Go ahead and take these few moments, and you can close your eyes, or you can close your eyes to your imagination and think about something that you've been after, something that you've been seeking. Maybe it's a vacation. Maybe it's an item that you wanted to purchase. Maybe it's a career that you've been looking for. Maybe it's a relationship. And I want you to visualize it for a few minutes, right? Just think about it. What does it feel like once you have acquired it? What does it feel like once you're able to walk in those steps every day? Are you happy or are you more frustrated than you thought you were going to be? But truly think about it. What does it take to get there? How many sleepless nights or how many days of rejection on phone calls? Or how many different experiences do you have to understand how it's supposed to flow? And we'll go ahead and bring it back in. Now, after you think about your visions, it's always important to think about what actions you can put forward to get a little bit closer to it. All right, cool. Whatever your actions is, that's yours. Mine is mine. And mine is still that private jet, that G700. I'm working on it. And we're getting closer and closer every day. But y'all, tonight, I am excited. We are going into our second interview episode of A Reason to Live on suicide prevention this month. And I'm excited for the special guest that we have and what she's done just with her life and the examples that she's set and the tone that has been set. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, y'all go ahead and help me welcome to the stage the one and only, you can't clone her, Sabrina Fisher. Y'all go ahead and help me welcome her. Hello, Sabrina. Thank you for coming on. Thank you. Go ahead and have a seat. Thank you for coming on to the show today.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate that. This has been a journey for the show, even getting started doing it. And I remember on our first conversation, you said sometimes God has a way of hugging us to show us we're still doing the right. I listen. You think I don't? She's shaking her head like, yeah, let's see how much he retained on this first phone call. And it was like 4 weeks ago. But I remember that. But when I talked to you, I felt that because there was no way I would have ever heard your story, just any of you, any part or fraction of your story in life had we not been doing this show and focusing on content. But even more than that, in October, I remember reaching out to Derek, who's not hosting tonight, y'all. I got this. It's iPhone territory, okay? Android has been on stage for like the last 4 weeks. I'm tired of seeing green. Hope it's no more Androids in the stage, in the audience. But anyway, you said that, and in October, I remember talking to Derek, and I was like, hey, man, like, I just want to focus on life and people taking it and how we can prevent it in so many different ways and so many different fashions. And we ran up on that category, and we would not have had that. I don't think I would have ran into you for this content. So I'm just so glad that you were where you were supposed to be at.
That part.
All right. I'm glad you're supposed to be at, and I'm glad I was where I was supposed to be at too. Y'all go ahead and share this with your friends if you're watching it right now. We're about to get into some really good content on this show tonight. All right. So look, Sabrina, let's go ahead and get into you, right? Let's jump into that topic for a few minutes. Who are you, right? For a generic person that has no idea who you are or what you do, what is the best way you explain yourself to the term I like to say called general public?
Unapologetically me, 100% authentic all the time, sometimes to a fault. My friends love and hate me for that at the same time, but just a genuine, true-hearted person that wants good for everybody.
We need more people like that. I feel like a lot of people are living through lenses of other people, through the lens of someone else's sight.
Rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, so they can't be themselves, let alone unapologetically. We're gonna get that word right tonight. Derek and Sabrina was laughing at me before the show started. I stumbled on that about 4 or 5 times. We're gonna get it before the show up with. Don't use that no more. We just got over it. Y'all see how that works? What got you to, and not even, you don't have to dive too much into it right now, but from a high level, what made you just say, hey, man, you know what? I'm just going to be me.
Because at the end of the day, no matter who I try to be, I'm not going to make everybody around me happy with who I am. So the only person I really care about making happy about who I am is myself, because I'm the one that has to be able to lay my head on a pillow at the end of the night and go to sleep.
Man, that takes determination, will, a lot of confidence in self to be able to get to a place like that. As I heard it best Sunday, we have to face our fears to try and find our true value or level of faith.
Yeah.
So I know we're going to get there because I hear it already, and I know we talked before, but there's no way you can get to you just arrive at that place. No. There's no way possible. People have to grow into that. Yeah. So native of Tennessee?
Yes.
Tennessee, okay.
Yep, born and raised from out east.
Nashville,
home and grown.
Nashville, y'all know. I am from Georgia. I am a Georgia boy. I always love to tell people I'm from the country. If people from Rome, they can be like, we're not from the country. That's not the country. Yes, it is, y'all. It's country. It'll be all right. Y'all take that up with me next time y'all see me in the country. How was it growing up, and what were some things just early on you learned that helped shape who you are today?
Trauma, believe it or not. I was raised by a single mother.
Okay.
That struggled, but she did what she had to do, which honestly, the drive and momentum I have to want to succeed and provide a great life for my son was because I want him to have a different childhood than I had. And I went through some very traumatizing things as a child. I was raped by my mom's boyfriend in the 1st and 2nd grade, which, you know, and then my brother got into a lot of trouble. And when I mean a lot of trouble, it was high-speed chases, SWAT teams, kidnappings. Like, I went through a lot, and it made me realize that, you know, the world's not perfect. Yeah. Like, so many bad things happened to me that not until this past year when I went through therapy and EMDR therapy that I realized that for me, I thought the normal of life was ugly. And that's why I was always so happy, because they told me that people who have experienced such bad things tend to want to people please and make everybody happy because they don't want them to hurt them like everybody else has.
Wow.
So
you just dropped a whole lot on me. You know that, right? I just wanted, and she dropped it as if it was just a featherweight. Like, here, just catch this little bit right here. And I'm like, ooh. But it was the fact that you said it was normal to envision almost trouble or adversity in life. That goes to show for anybody that's watching or anybody here that's just out in the audience, we never know what has happened to people unless they truly come out and say it. But what has happened to us does not mean that that's what we have to be in a negative perspective. And what I mean by that is you didn't take up until this point, maybe we'll hear more later on, I'm sure we will, but you didn't take what happened to you as a child and say, now my life sucks and this is always going to happen. You learned that through adversity, there's a lot of growth. And I'm glad that you shared that. And we're going to need that tonight. We're going to need more of that and how to channel through that, because everybody needs a reason to live. And you just gave a little bit of nuggets on how. It got dark there, and as kids or young adults or even adults, and this is just on Get to Know Me, you understand that people deal with certain things. What is just up front, if you wanted to just already take a second and speak to somebody who has not verbally sought out for help or even mentally sought out for help, what would be 10 seconds of advice that you give them now?
Nothing's wrong with you. You didn't do anything wrong, and it's okay to not be okay.
I didn't give you that question before. You just popping off like I sent her these questions before this show started. I feel away for a minute now. That was just, but nothing is wrong with you. A lot of people doubt that. Let me lighten it up for a little minute. Let me jump into fun facts, because all those questions lead me into my questions to help people, and I'm not ready to get there yet. Let's jump into some fun facts. Can we ask Sabrina some fun facts today? Maybe her followers, and I know my followers don't know some of these things. Let's talk about traveling. If you could choose a destination right now that you could spend 30 days at, I hate traveling more than 3-4 days, y'all. If I'm there for more than 3 days, I'm ready to go. I don't care where it is. If you had 30 days and you had to pick one location in the world or outside the world, we can use where would you go and why?
I wouldn't pinpoint a specific location. It's what it has to offer, because I'm about making memories and adventures, but somewhere with the crystal clearest, bluest seas, with the beautiful nature for hikes, and just something of God's creations, just to appreciate what he actually gives us. I don't give easy answers, do I?
No, like I hate to ask her what she want to eat. Something that's just gonna make me feel amazing and like make me think of my next project. I'm like, okay, this ain't helping me at all. Italian? I immediately thought Hawaii or Maldives, but Maldives does not have mountains. No, Maldives, you Maldives fan? Yes, me too. You say, y'all can talk. It's all right. I'm a Maldives fan too. I thought I was extra one day, Leona, right? I thought I was extra. I was at an event and they were like, "Where you want to go?" I said, "Maldives." The lady didn't correct me at first, but when she came back and said it, she said, and he'd like to go to the Maldives. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll say it right the next time. So y'all heard me. If you're watching tonight, I learned my lesson. Okay, Maldives. Okay, so we know crystal clear water, hiking. That's definitely my cup of tea. I'm telling y'all, if I'm gonna go somewhere, I want to hear the ocean. Mm-hmm. I want to feel the breeze. I need the sunlight. Mm-hmm. I want to get in the jungle a little bit too, and Tarzan, Georgia the Jungle, which they need a new one, but we're not gonna get on that right now. If you had to choose a TV show or a movie universe of an environment that you'd have to live in, what would it be?
Full House.
Full
House.
That was easy. Why?
So entertaining. Full House or Family Matters, one or the other.
Okay, there's no shortage of laughs. I'm gonna tell you that. That's for sure. If you take it that route, since you asked me to, I'm gonna say she didn't ask me. I'll just get mine in there. What is it? Parks and Recreation. Have y'all ever heard of that? Mm-mm. Okay. So, dang, that's messed up. I ain't getting no. I got one. Thank you, Doctor. Parks is the driest humor ever. Mm-hmm. It is a shame. It should be illegal how dry that humor is. But I love that show, Parks and Recreation. It tells you exactly what not to do as a leader. Oh. I love watching shows that have poor leadership skills because it helps me become a better one.
Everything you shouldn't do.
Yeah, this is what I shouldn't do. I was talking to Derek when he hosted when I was out in Hawaii. And I think before the show, I was talking on the phone with him. And he said, all the people are writing books and stuff about what you need to do or top 10 steps to get to what you need, what you want to get to, but nobody's writing what you shouldn't do. Yep. All right. So I'll give him that credit tonight. I'll give him that credit tonight. He's still an Android user. So that's all he get. All right. We're going to get back into it. Last one. When you're not on meal prep, we'll get into the competitions and stuff in a second. What is your splurge meal?
Mexican food.
Okay. She got like, is she like this all the time? She answers questions. Anybody know it's like this? It's going to be direct, but it's not going to be specific because Mexican is still broad. We got fajitas and quesadillas and tacos and empanadas, chips and queso, all of that and everything else. Banana chimichangas, or have you ever had that before?
No.
You had apple chimichangas? No. That's so I'm listen, y'all. It's hot and sweet. It's dessert and ooh.
I really don't like sweets that much.
What?
But I can eat my weight in Reese's cups.
Okay. So your dentists love you, right? Because they don't have to see you. My dentists hate me because they gotta see, but they love me because they get paid so much. Ooh, and I don't like the dentist. Let me not say that. Last time I said that, I had to go see them. I love the dentist. So we know Mexican food, traveling, and then Full House, you said, or either Family Matters. Steve Urkel, by the way, is probably one of the most legendary people. I still won't drive a VW Volkswagen, though. Sorry, y'all. I won't. But let's get into, we've understood who Sabrina is a little bit more. And we've understood just, she grew up in Tennessee and I grew up in Georgia. We understand that adversity happens to a lot of people when we are young. I'd like to object and say often, especially for those who are called to do more in life.
100%. I would agree to that.
Okay. What was there a time where you realized more was wanted of you in life before like adult trauma or anything like that?
Before adult life?
Mm-hmm. Or even right at the cusp of the beginning of it, was there something that said there's more? Did you ever have signs, or did people friends ever say stuff that you're like, oh, you're supposed to da 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 because they already saw it? Is there anything?
Well, people have always told me I'm just very easy to talk to because I love people, right? So I don't talk to everybody the same. I want to get to know the individual, like what makes you happy, what hurts you, I understand the individual, and I love people the way they need to be loved, not the way I want to love them. And so I've always been told I'm just a really good people person. And I just thought it was always Southern hospitality, like just homegrown.
Right.
Now, as far as me feeling like I had like a bigger purpose was the motorcycle wreck.
And I'm ready to get there. I'm ready to get there.
You asked the question.
I know. I'm ready to get there. I'm gonna get there too. There's a lot that we have to unpack, and I'm watching. We good on time. Before we got there, you said people always knew that you were easy to talk to, but you said something key there. You learned how to love people the way they needed to be loved, and not the way you wanted to love them. You got to. So Bigger Pockets love. If anybody watches Bigger Pockets, they always say, "Let's unpack that."
Yeah.
So we got to take that box and we got to unpack that for a minute. What made you even think that way?
Honestly, I think because as a kid, being raised by a single mother, and like I said, being hurt a lot, like I craved love and just feeling like I was good enough or wanted, because I didn't really feel that a lot growing up. So I just learned people. Like I know that sounds crazy, but just just listening to somebody, and like they say that you have two ears, one mouth for a reason. Like close the mouth and just listen to the person, get to know them. And I'm an empath too, and I didn't realize that. Like I always have been, but I didn't realize that until I was much older. So like I literally feel things that other people feel. And I think that's one reason why I smile so much. Is because even if I'm going through things, you never know it. I had a friend at the gym the other day, like we were hanging out yesterday, and she said, I'd never know you went through all this because you always smile. And I said, it's because I never want to inflict that feeling on somebody else that I'm going through something. So if they can see it, like somebody who's not an empath, they're like, oh, she's going through something, like, oh, she needs a hug. Like I don't want them to feel my pain because I know what it's like to feel other people's pain.
Perspective is everything. There's a couple key things I want to call out right there. The first one is I wish my kids were listening. I tell them all the time, you got one mouth, two ears, and two eyes. Use them accordingly. When Jim Quick, who's a brain trainer, he trained the Marvel actors on one of their latest movies. They flew him out to where they were actually filming and trained the actors to learn their, I guess you can say, lines quicker because they were in a crunch. And he said when he was teaching them, they run into so many people and they know it all already. The quickest way that he was able to help them is he had to show them that he cared first. And he said this coined term, and it stuck with me ever since this March in Orlando. He said, people only care what you know once they know that you care. And you being an empath, I feel like I'm sitting by a real live superhero right now, because you are aware of one of your superpowers, which superpowers are not always fun to carry, because being an empath is not amazing and it's not exciting.
It's exhausting.
To feel other people's energy. Let's go ahead and ask that question now. How do you handle your problems and your energy and other people's without them even giving it to you physically?
Well, I learned, it was probably last 2 years ago. I was going through a lot. Like I cut off the world, like with no notice. Like I turned my phone off, put everything on do not disturb, didn't go to gym. A couple of friends knocked on the door because they didn't hear from me for days. And they're like, what is wrong? And I'm like, I couldn't take anymore because I was going through a lot and friends were calling with their problems. And I was like, I'm going to break. I can't do it. So that was a time where I learned, like, I have to not let my cup be so drained that it runs dry, that I have to allow my time self to energize. And I've even cut family and friends out of my life completely because it's too draining. It's too draining. And it's like, if you only want to pull and take and get like me, and don't reciprocate and give back, like it has to be a circle, like, give back process. And it's like, I can't have somebody that's just continually going to pull my energy from me.
Leeches.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said energy, because that's what I was about to allude to. I need that reciprocation and energy, right? And don't, like, money can only spend so far in so many places. And possessions, you can only take so many places or acquire so many things with them. I need, what's that? Beyonce, good energy, or one of those songs. Give me those, so however that song goes. I'm terrible, y'all. Y'all know I'm crazy. Y'all know I got it. No, it's like, stop. You embarrassing. But with carrying other people's emotions, you said something there, and there's a lot of empaths that I run into, and maybe I am one. But my aura, like, I focused so many years on momentous positive thought. Because I've dealt with a lot too, and I got to a point where I was like, forget everything that is going wrong. This is my thought process. Prime example, this morning, Derek, the only one in here to know this, I'm driving my car, one of the cars, and going to give me some coffee, feeling great this morning. And all I hear is this loud bang. And I thought somebody hit my car. And make a long story short, the car mechanic told me that I had a combustion leak and that my engine had a miniature explosion while I was driving the car. All right. But my momentous positive thinking, I'm talking to people and they telling me about their day like it's just the worst day ever. And here I am waiting on a tow truck with a busted engine in one of the cars. But they never knew. Right. And so that's why I feel like I may be an empath, because I don't want it's early in the morning. If I called you early in the morning, I'm sorry, Derek. Probably because you got to enjoy it. Made him feel that.
Do you remember how you asked me how my day was going last weekend?
Yeah, I remember that. And you said,
I literally said, God's given me material to tell on your show next week. I promise. I pulled out of the driveway and I didn't get past my house. My car broke down. And I was like, oh, let me charge the battery. So I go and I go buy a new battery. They told me they wouldn't change it. They ended up changing it. Well, now I need new battery cable thing terminals. Get those done. Get to the gym, flashing light. Get in the car. My alternator went out. And I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing here, God. It's great. It's a great day. It's going to be great. I'm still breathing. I can still make it work. I have people, like the mechanic went in on a Sunday and he's closed on Sundays to fix my car. So the thing is like, I don't necessarily say I'm not going to pay attention to the bad that's going to happen and tunnel vision on the positive. I say, if I'm in this dark place, I'm going to become the light because I'm not going to stay in the dark.
I love it. I love it. It's, it's crazy. I was saying the same thing. Okay, God, like, it's Monday. And I'm the king mascot of it's Monday. Like, let's go. My techs hate it too. Like, we get on meetings early Monday morning. I'm like, let's go, baby. Like, oh, Jeremy, you do know it's Monday. So I had to keep that same momentum. And I'm glad you said that. Give me new perspective of thought. When it's dark, don't have tunnel vision. Just be the light, but still head in that right direction. So I'm learning tonight too, y'all. We already getting gems. We already getting some stuff. Let's go ahead and jump into challenges as an adult that shifted and shaped life for you today as it is. I know, me and Derek I'm always talking to Derek. Y'all give me somebody else a call. I hope nobody's watching to call my phone all the time. Y'all, I promise y'all be busy. I was talking about life and he said, you know, all of that's happening just to be prepared. Mm-hmm. And I know you were speaking about stuff that happened at an adolescent age and just a youthful age, but coming into adulthood, the number one thing for you that shifted your mentality on how you were going to operate your life, for anybody that doesn't know, is what?
I died in a motorcycle wreck, and I have traumatic brain injury. But the doctors told my primary doctor, which was a Vanderbilt doctor, mm-hmm. that they were just waiting on me because I was in a coma in the ICU. It busted my I took 2 massive blows to the brain, one in the front and one in the back. It cracked the helmet and my head open. And they told my family, like, I would never be a banker again. I was a banker at the time. I'd probably never walk again or be able to take care of myself. And I don't remember any of being in the hospital, even when I came out of the coma. And I do remember having short-term memory loss, but I remember my family was really upset that I bought a motorcycle to begin with. But I told them, I was like, I'm not going anywhere until God's ready for me because, you know, I'm young and all this attitude. So, of course, when I come out of this, I was like, told you, right? You know? Like, he's not ready for me. And my parents got so mad at me. But I'm like, I told you if he wasn't ready for me. Oh. But it really did shift my perspective on things of, like, to not take things for granted. Like, I had an all-black SS Monte Carlo. It was like
watch out, man. What year? Like hold up. We're going to get back. What year?
It was a 2005.
Okay, so you had the round two-door, kind of long.
It was my baby with the legally tinted windows.
Red pinstripe?
Yes.
Hey, all right. That model and the training day model, Denzel Washington, that Monte Carlo too. Either one of those, all day, any day. All right, I'm sorry. You got me hyped when I heard.
But even after that, I pulled up somewhere and I parked, and somebody parked their bike next to it, and they didn't have their bike in park. They had it in neutral, and it rolled and fell into my car and dented it. And everybody was like, "Oh, Sabrina's about to pop off." And I was like, "It's fine, it's fine." And everybody's like, "Who are you?" Like, and I was like, "It's just a car." Like, it made me take, like, money and material things are not important to me. Like you were saying, like, what people want out of life. Like, at the end of the day, regardless of what I have, if I'm not here tomorrow, I want people to remember my legacy and the impact I had on their life, not the money in my bank account. So, but again, I know how quickly I can lose my life. Like, I literally was just like a TGI Fridays with friends, and then bam, my life was taken from me. But God wasn't ready yet. So I was like, I have a divine purpose for my life. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to wake up every day and make the most of what I can and be positive, because I know that I was given another chance, that he wasn't ready for me yet. And I have purpose. And everybody does. I believe that every person walking the face of this earth has a specific divine purpose of why they're here. And I don't think God will ever call them home until they have fulfilled that purpose. And people may not ever know exactly what it is, but everybody has meaning and purpose.
You said the beginning of what purpose is. And you said waking up every day and pretty much putting my best foot forward on a positive manner or state of mind. If anybody, that's free game, free nuggets right there. If you don't know where to start with your purpose, if you don't know where you're supposed to be at, one thing you can do is you can get my book, Unlocking Your Gift Through Faith and Purpose. Shameless plug, unshameless plug. Or you can just listen to what Sabrina just said and at least start every single day by just being positive, regardless of what happened to you. Sabrina told you 2 weekends ago, as soon as she got out of her driveway, her car started acting up. I told y'all today, as soon as I was getting ready to get my coffee, and I wanted it so bad. That's probably the problem. Should have just made it at the house. But I didn't. Racetrack was calling my name. But anyway, digress from that. But you said something there also with coming into it, that you were in the ICU. When we were on the phone, I remember you were giving me a little bit in description, and if I could share just during the accident, if I remember hearing this correctly, and I hope if there were any other riders, that they were okay too. But we're on Sabrina tonight, y'all. But your head hit something that caused you to be unconscious.
Yep.
Initially.
Yep. So I I ride my own bike, but that night we were just going down the street to go to a restaurant and there was no parking. So somebody said, just hop on the back of my bike and go with me. So we were literally 2 blocks down the road and on West End, and a drunk driver turned out in front of us. I don't even remember. Like, the last thing I remember is putting my helmet on the sidewalk. So God prevented me from even remembering the experience. But they believe what happened because I spoke with a firefighter that worked the accident, because he rides bikes too and realized who I was. And he told me that they think what happened is when he T-boned the car, that my head hit his helmet. That's that front blow. And they think it knocked me out because I was catapulted 50 feet in the air and landed directly on my head. And they said that they put a white sheet over my body on the street because they just knew, because it should have broken my neck. And I didn't have one broken bone. My head was cracked open, but my head cracking open, because everybody was like, you should have had a better helmet on. But if my helmet didn't crack open and my head crack open to let the swelling and the bleeding out, that would have killed me. So,
listen, I can break that down a million different ways, and I'm going to try at least 100 of them right now in 30 seconds. Not 100. I was just playing. I was glad 100. But when I hear that, some things are blocked from us, and we feel like it's going to cause our impact to be worse for what we're dealing with. And it's only to make sure that our impact is better. Basically, what I'm saying is people try to hold things when they're going through things. And if it's in God's control, most of the time, we really don't even need to be holding it. We just need to be holding him while we're going through, and it'll make our impact that much better. Even though we may have pains, because we have to grow from something. And this is not even joking, but you truly understand what no pain, no gain is. Yeah. Just hearing that. Yeah. And that's what that means. You can't grow and get these things. You know, this guy said it best this weekend. Once you ask God for something and you ask for it for so long, be careful, because once his word is out, it can't come back.
That part. I recently told somebody, because my plate's been really full. Like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I'm not going to complain that my plate's full because I begged God to eat. Like, I asked him to provide for me. So I'm not going to complain that my plate is full. Yeah. I'm just going to go section by section.
Because we can't pull it back.
Yeah.
Ooh, I used to love flying and traveling. Like, couldn't wait to get on the airplane. Sabrina?
Used to?
Well.
You used to? Whatever.
So now planes feel like a bus to me.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for me. But just 2017, 2020, I did a lot of just consulting work and just traveling all over the United States, 100% of the time. Oh. So we're talking 50 weeks out of 52 weeks in a year. Not fun. Like, people think that's cool to get on planes that much, but after a while, like, it's just like, and so I'm like that when I travel now. And I could be going off on a rant, but something just made me think about that. So I just wanted to share that. But when we are in adversity, what I wanted everybody to understand there is, from the story of what we just heard, sometimes it's better that you didn't see what could have happened. So it gives you better position now to be able to do more. What her skull cracking situation, if it would have been closed, I believe if we had to lay that out for somebody who's struggling with life tonight, the thing was taken from you, or you can't see what's going on and what you want to see because what's required of you. And maybe if you do see it, it'll keep you from doing, or if you do experience it, or if you do continue to hold it, it'll keep you from doing what God or life is trying to push you to do. So drop it, let it go.
I always say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him that you have a plan and it's going to work.
I'm telling y'all.
Because he'll make sure it doesn't. He'll go watch this.
And yeah.
Because the year that motorcycle wreck, a lot of bad things had happened, just like the flooding, family members passing. I was like, my life can't get any worse. And I felt like God went literally like cracked me on my head and said, watch this. But I'm fine, you know?
Yeah. No, you like nobody would ever be able to tell now that you experienced any of that. So
I'm part of like studies throughout, like across like the United States. I've done one in Canada with universities for brain studies, because they're trying to figure out how I have no residuals, like not zero, because of how bad the impacts were. And every single time they asked me, why do I think, or what do I think it is? I said, because God, because I trusted God and not the doctors.
Scripture, I'm not a Bible scholar by any means necessary, but it's something along the lines of, now you'll know who was the great, it's basically saying who did this for you, and you won't be able to lay claim to a medicine or a doctor or a job or a certain amount of money, or Magic Johnson giving Dr. Sebi credit. But we ain't gonna talk about that. Dr. Sebi probably did it, but he got to get that, thought process from somebody. So sorry, I know I'm on one tonight. I ain't been on stage in a minute. So we went through this incident. Before the incident, were you into health and fitness?
No, I was into partying, drinking, like staying out till 4 a.m, being at work at 7. Like,
sound like my days back in the day, a month or two ago. A lot of people have experienced that.
Yeah. A
lot of people are still experiencing that. What would you say, before we get to how life impacted, to make you focus on that now, to the person? I love giving just quick messages to the person that's in that now, and they know they hate going out every night, but their friends call them anyway, and they're like, all right, man, or okay, girl, I'm on the way. What would you say to that person that feels that energy pulling them to just change their lifestyle or how they're operating right now?
Take an inventory of the 5 closest people that you're around and how does it impact their life, and figure out what's pulling from you, and because you are what you surround yourself with. So it might be time to clean house.
Bird, listen, I didn't give her none of these questions, and the fact that she just white on rice like this is just crazy. You think I sent her the 4 principal questions that I was gonna ask? Just be ready for these. No, like, y'all, Sabrina is ready tonight. Y'all hear me? Birds of a feather flock together. If y'all ain't never understood what that means, that's what that means. And you said it earlier. You had to cut off family and friends. Yeah, I still love y'all. I probably got some family watching right now back in Georgia. I still love y'all, and I've made myself vocally clear and in public spaces with family and friends. If our energy does not resonate, or if I can't have a thoughtful conversation with you, we're not going to talk.
Yeah,
we're not going to talk. And I love it because now I've set the tone so much that I don't even, like, it does not ring unless it makes sense. It just doesn't ring. And so I'm glad about that. Let's jump into after, right? And you switched from going out, and for me it was going out and tequila. And it still is tequila, just subtracted going out. I don't like going out now, y'all. My pastor on here, he gonna be outside. What was it that said do health and fitness?
I paid off my car, and I was like, where can I put my money that I usually spend on my car note?
Okay.
That's what I was like, you're going to love this answer. And I was like, well, I can pay a personal trainer. And because it was like really cheap at the time. And I was just like, I can just be healthier. And let me tell you, me and the drinker I was all the time and just eating football food every Sunday, it was hard, but I got healthier.
Ish.
I mean, I lost a lot of weight,
Okay.
but at that point, I just became skinny. It wasn't like
Purposeful.
Yeah, but it was just like skinny. It was like skin and bones.
Gotcha.
And I got married. That's a whole nother show. But
we got a podcast. We're gonna do part 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
But I went through a lot in that, and long story short, he told me I was in the gym too much and not spending enough time with him. So I stopped going to the gym. Then he told me I was getting fat. It was a very double-edged sword. But long story short, I'm divorced now. And after the divorce and coming to my own healing from the divorce, I started focusing on my fitness, got with another trainer, did really well. And I was like, again, I love helping people and understanding people. So I became a certified coach. And then domestic violence happened like a year and a half later. And I hit bottom again, that part where it's like, but God, because nothing else was pulling me up, because it completely shattered everything in me. Like my emotions, my mental, everything. So I told myself that I was going to pick up every single part of that broken person and love it. Because as a child going through all these traumatic things, I was taught it happened, slap a smile on it, keep going. There's nothing we can do to change it. But I was never taught to grieve and understand what happened and just feel the emotions of it. So this time I was like, I'm going to pick up every single piece, even if it cuts me and hurts while I'm doing it. And I'm going to rebuild a new me. And being a coach, I had heard that doing competition prep was one of the hardest things you could ever do, because it's not just your physical or your nutrition, it's your mental. And I said, I don't want to be resilient anymore. I want to be strong. I want to choose backing out of a corner myself. Like I want to choose my hard. I don't want to be like shoved in a corner going, I got to fight or flight.
Right.
So December 28th, I hired a coach to prep me like for a show, but it wasn't really a show. It was just for my mental. And I became the best version of myself I ever have been. And it's continued to be that every day.
They say if you want to control your life, control your fitness. And fitness takes a lot of mental work.
It does.
I be struggling just doing up, downs, and burpees and push-ups and body squats, forget weights and all of that. Like, man, I remember I called myself when I was on my last hiatus and on the islands, and I said, I'm going to do some high knees on the beach. 8 seconds. 8 seconds. That sand got to hit my ankles, man. And I couldn't do it no more. I know I'm almost at time. Listen, there's so much you said. I got to draw this in just on what we captured. And I know these viewers enjoying this, and I know everybody here enjoying it too. But before I dig into that, insecurities of people and how they affect our approach to our own life. You said you wanted to work out, and somebody said you're at the gym too much. And then when you came home, they said you're gaining too much weight. But they never said anything about what they could do to better themselves or the situation.
Right.
To me, that's like one of the biggest signs of an insecure person.
Yeah.
How do you deal with those kind of people?
At this point, my friends can tell you, I'm very vocal now. Like I tell them, I'm like, I don't sugarcoat things. It's like, I'm going to love you through it, but I'm very vocal about it. But you have to determine, like, you can't save everybody and you can't help everybody. But if I sit there and have a conversation with you and you have an open mind and an open heart to hear something you don't want to hear, and you're going, okay, maybe I do need to reevaluate how I'm doing this, or Okay, that's the slap in the face I needed, because I would expect my friends to do it to me. But then there's some people that just get defensive and they're not trying to hear it. And those are the people you just don't want in your life, because they're content being who they are, and that's fine. But how are they impacting you? Back to those people you have around you, is them being who they want to be because they don't want to grow and change or evolve or better themselves. How is that impacting my life? Because if it's not helping me or adding positive contribution to my life, I don't want to go backwards anymore, because I worked and I clawed my life too hard to get this far to be pulled down again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm worth it.
Yeah. Y'all hear that? Somebody need to say that, right? I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm glad you said that. I'm putting that on a shirt. That's going on a shirt right there. I'm worth it. No matter how much it costs. Listen, I probably got about 5 minutes if I'm looking at my clock right. Time flies when you're having fun. At the beginning of the show, we were talking about unapologetically. Yeah. I was going to try it again. No, we're going to leave it right there just one time. Yourself, right? He's a fool. I'm telling you, he's crazy. And now we get to this health. Is that part of the behavior and actions in life that got you to being that version of you?
It is, because even though like the fitness and the mental and fitting it all in, right? People are like, well, I just don't have the time of the day. Excuse me, how many hours do you have in a day? Because I have the same 24 hours. It's how we want to structure our day, but it's not about me being able to lift heavy weights or looking like I'm ready to step on a stage. Honestly, me physically looking like I do, the core of it was my mental, because it's created the happiest, strongest mental version of myself that I've ever had. And that's because somebody's like, have you fallen in love with competing? Because I'm going to do it again, which I said I would never do it to begin with. And God was like, but watch this. But I said I am, but it's not because I have fallen in love with competing. I have fallen in love with evolving into the next best version of myself that I continue to learn every day. So.
If you feel like you don't know yourself, or if you feel like you know yourself fully, then you have no idea. It's basically what I just heard. Keep paying attention to yourself. For every day that you live on this earth, pay attention to what you respond to situations, how you react to situations, because there is a difference there. How you speak to people, how you treat your own life, the words that you choose to say, and how you choose to approach or act out a situation. Think about all of that, and you will constantly see how you're evolving every day. Now, you said you love helping people, and if I'm not mistaken, you do online coaching for like fitness and health. All right, and I know there's a consultation link that we have for viewers to be able to click on right now to get those free consultations. If somebody was going to do a consultation with you, what would you have to say to them now before they invest their time and inquire for your time?
I don't sell anything. Like, I literally have a conversation with you like you're a human, and I'm going to listen to what you want, why you haven't gotten there, and tell you, okay, because if we're not a good fit together, then it wouldn't work anyways. And the only thing I say is just be honest with yourself before talking to me, because if you can't be honest with yourself and where you're at, you can't be honest with me.
That's like, if y'all pay attention to people, if you really pay attention to people, you know if they're being honest, right? But you gotta dig deep. Sometimes you might feel them little spider senses going off, and they might be true. Like, you better pay attention to them. Tonality, how confident the words come out, eye-to-eye contact, all of these things are important. They're not determining factors, because people can be psychotic, still possess all of that, right? But they are good factors to look at when it comes to people being confident and true to themselves, and that lets you know who you need to spend your time with. But if y'all are gonna inquire her time for consultations, please know that criteria right there. Be honest with yourself first before you come in there.
Yep.
Don't say you in shape and you're not in shape. I'm the only one to do that, okay? Reason to live. We're going to close out in 2 minutes here. I want you to, if you can, for the viewers that are watching tonight, on a reason to live, somebody who may be coming out of a traumatic situation in life, or may just be dealing with what's considered to them the worst part of life that they could be dealing with on any level of fashion. What would you say to that person tonight? What would you leave them with? What actionable items would you have them focus on their next 30-day journey?
Just take what you're going through as like fertilizer being thrown on you, AKA, because you just need to water yourself, because that is that like whatever you're going through is meant to grow you out of your current comfort zone and break you to become a next best version of yourself. So the thing I would say for the next 30 days is to have faith and just trust whatever's happening is meant to be to get you to where you need to be. And don't be reluctant against it. Don't fight it. Just accept what's happened, process it, and go, okay, what's the next step? Don't look to go, okay, I got to get here in 30 days. But what's the next step to get me to the next step to eventually get to where I want to be?
Ladies and gentlemen, it might stink. It might be sticky, right? But just go through it. Let it build you. Let it mature you. Let it help you grow up in whatever your life is. And you heard it best from Sabrina. We're going to have to get you on like part 2, because like I feel like I didn't have nowhere near enough time. Cam, maybe the No BS podcast or something there. Like, yo, y'all had to figure it out. We're going to have to figure something out. But ladies and gentlemen, again, this is the one and only Sabrina Fisher. You can find her on Instagram and Facebook at Coach Sabrina Fisher on Instagram and Coach Sabrina Fisher on.
It's just Sabrina Fisher on Instagram.
Sabrina Fisher.
Coach Sabrina Fisher on Instagram and just Sabrina Fisher on Facebook.
And ladies and gentlemen, again, we thank the great Sabrina, and I am your host, Jeremy Tuck. Y'all, we are signing out. Thank you for joining in tonight. Peace out. Thank you.